Good evening. My name is Donna Pinard, and I am running for the Goffstown School Board. I am a lifelong resident of Goffstown. In fact, I've lived on the same street my entire life, only two houses, my childhood home, my married home, still there. And like Phil Devanza, I'm hoping they pull me out of there in a body bag. I'm a graduate of Goffstown High School. And my husband, Dan Cloutier, is currently serving on the school board. And if you've lived in town long enough, you know Lori Cloutier, who served for 9 years on the school board. I am her mother. Proudly say that. I am her mother. I have a master's degree in education, and years ago when I was going for that master's degree, I had to take a class called school law. It's required of everyone. The adjunct professor that I had was a retired superintendent of schools, and the very first class, he mentions the fact that, you know, superintendents get together and socially, and they meet together, and one of the things they talk about or brag about is how they have their school boards in their pocket. Now, the professor was presenting that to the class because it was a school law class, and he was trying to say that because sometimes school board members don't know the law and it's hard to get all that info under your belt before you serve, you can easily be manipulated or misled, and it takes years sometimes to get the experience that you need to know exactly how that system works. Well, because I was a teacher at SAU 19 for over 20 years, I know how that system works. Now, some of my colleagues have said to me that they're worried that I will not have name recognition, so allow me to say it again. Donna Pinard, like Pinardville, without the ville. Edmund Pinard, who that part of town is actually named for, was first cousins with my grandfather, but my grandfather didn't live in Pinardville. He lived on the west side of Manchester in 03102, so if you're all wondering how it is that Pinardville ended up with a Manchester address and a Manchester zip code, there it is. There's a tie amongst the French Canadians that they didn't want to give that out. Now, most of those people have died off. So every 10 years when the post office asks if we want to change our zip code to 03045 and the people vote, who knows, eventually you might be able to get it. From what I understand, St. Anselm College does not want that changed. You know, a lot of money and stationery and all that. Plus the promotional of being in Manchester, the biggest city in New Hampshire. So in case you didn't recognize that name, that's my name. But if you've lived in town long enough to know, back in the 2000s, there was a very vocal teacher, that was me, complaining about the principal at the middle school. The principal at the middle school began to target certain teachers. And I was not one of them, but I was bewildered and I was wondering why this happened. And allow me to just say that I always go directly to the source. So I went to him and I said, this is unethical, this is immoral according to my values, your behaviors, and what are you doing? And he didn't give me an answer. I don't stop there. So I went to the superintendent, not our current superintendent, the one that we had before. And I said, this is unethical, this is what I'm seeing, it's immoral, what are you doing? And they didn't give me an answer either. So I approached the school board members, and that's when I realized it was top down. They were okay with that. And because of school law, and because I have a philosophy degree as my undergraduate degree, but I also did the equivalent in criminal justice, the law is very important, and when you sign a contract, you should follow the contract. And so I went public with it. I went to a fellow teacher who lives in town and I said, please say something, and she said, I need new citing. Then another teacher got on my email string, and one time she hit reply all, and the press contacted her because now there were two teachers saying the same thing. Anyway, push come to shove, the principal went too far. A colleague of mine, different from those first two that I just mentioned, filed a lawsuit. She won. I took a personal day. I was going to go. I was going to watch, and they settled it. and it cost the taxpayers of Goffstown a lot of money. And they made her sign a non-disclosure agreement, so I don't know how much money that was, because the school board sealed those records for over 25 years until everybody involved is gone. So yes, we have wonderful schools. I hear people say, oh, yeah, everybody's moving here because we have wonderful schools. They're not perfect. There are things that sometimes are wrong. If you vote for me, I guarantee no superintendent of ours will ever be sitting around claiming that they have their school board in their pocket. Thank you.